Fancy some analysis on the Barbarians' first army and how it is that they could be best deployed within battle? Then stay tuned to find out more. My fellow Germanic tribesmen, welcome. Are you bored through? We're bored through. And here at Bored Through, we're all about the gameplay. And in particular today, we are going to take a look at the Barbarians' first army. So hoping that this is going to be a reasonably short video, but just want to give you a sense of maybe how to read this army and how it is that you can deploy it on the field so that you can get maximum effect out of it. I think the first thing to point at with this army is the general, of course, because in particular this is your starting four-star general. I believe it's Cassiavelius. So he's your four-star general. So this is definitely an army where you don't want to be sending it out into battles where you think that you're going to lose. That's the first thing to consider with this. It's not like your mediocre general, as comes with some of the later armies. This is definitely one that you want to hang on to and to use really effectively. At the same time, it's not necessarily an army that you want to simply hold back either. So we'll take a look at how the best way to deploy it later, but first of all we need to understand what's happening with the army. So apart from looking at our general, you also have to kind of look at your slingers here, because they are one of your skirmisher units. So just be aware that if you're going to take them out on campaign, that they're very likely to just disappear, just because they the S effect, the S appearing on the green die, which is what most of the regions have, is quite a high likelihood of occurring. So having these slingers and hanging onto them is actually very difficult. At the same time, you can see that they're very cheap to try and replace at the same time. So this is actually quite a good army that if you get into a battle early, could do really well, because the barbarians have some of the largest armies of all the starting armies. So if in say the first turn the Carthaginians have been quite aggressive, perhaps coming up the Iberian Peninsula, or that the Romans are pushing forwards up into the Alps, this is potentially quite a good army to go in with. Just because they've got a skirmisher unit that can kind of hide the movements of some of the other units that are behind it. The next thing to note here is that the Highland Lowlanders, and in particular, when you take a look, that they roll on a white die, which is very poor, to be honest. And that is both within terrain and in good going. So that itself is really quite disappointing. They're not a very strong unit at all. But as you can see there, they are reasonably cheap, which does help. But what I would say is that don't focus too much on those aspects, and actually what you need to do is you need to focus on this here, the S effect. The S effect will destroy a foot unit in good going. So definitely these are the ones that you want to deploy within good going. So if you're going to go into battle, do it in a place where you've not got an awful lot of terrain, because they're not going to do particularly well in the terrain. They really come to their own when they're in good going. So to kind of offset that, you can see the more elite unit kind of sitting here, and much better statistics, although still again strength is in good going. But you do also have to take a look at their S effect, because for the expense of this unit here, it's definitely not one you want to throw away. So that's probably the one that you want to use your slinger with. So when you've got the opportunity to put them out onto the battle map and you're trying to figure out who should have put the slingers out, put them out to defend these guys, because if you could take out the unit that's attacking them, even though it's a low probability given the white die, that's just going to add some safety for this guy here, because you definitely want to keep them around. But it's the S effect again that I want to draw your attention to, just because you can see it takes out infantry units, cavalry units, and even chariot units, and that is regardless of whether it's good going or in mountainous terrain. So that is a fantastic and definitely, I think, undervalued unit. I think everyone kind of looks at the dice here, and they don't realize that the S effect is actually really powerful. So this is particularly one that you might want to use on the flanks, for example. And then finally, of course, you've also got the chariots here. Once again, strength is in good going. You get really good results if you do that. And once again, the S effect once again is good in good going. So this is an army, as you can see, that the good going is what suits this much better. So given all of that, if we actually take away now, pardon me, if we actually just take away this army here, if we take away the battle map, then what we're able to see is the home regions of the barbarians up here. So what's maybe the best way to use this army? One great place to send them, I mean, everything has got a lot of terrain, but as you can see, that if the Carthaginians have been quite aggressive, meeting them down in this region here is a fantastic place to put them. So if you see the Carthaginians are coming and being quite aggressive, what you might want to do is you might want to go with the strategy of forming the wall. So in particular, you would be moving them down so that you're able to form your wall here. And in particular then what you want to do is maybe start by coming down into this region and then finishing in that region, and let the army kind of sit there, so that if the Carthaginians do decide to launch an attack and they come up into here, then that means that they're going to take them on with very little terrain. So that's where this army really comes to its own. As you can see, trying to go on the offensive and actually attacking into the Iberian Peninsula is really tricky, just because of the amount of terrain that is in there. So that's maybe not so much of a good move, actually. Another thing that what you could do is actually to take this army and start moving it out across here, and that can be the army that you pick up with your mercenaries. This is actually a really great strategy, because if you head over here to the sun, take a look at that in a previous video about the different ways of reading the map, and this army actually picks up lots of the mercenaries, so that it's much more versatile, so that as you're moving along here, you're whittling out some of these weaker lowland units, and you're replacing them with really high quality mercenaries. Well, suddenly that's going to be a really formidable fighting force if you want to come back down here to attack the Romans, if you want to go south to try and take the Greeks, or if what you want to do is just to establish a battle line, a frontier, and then maybe just own all of these territories up here and just reap the benefit of that. The fact that you've got a 4-star general, an army that could be kitted out with mercenaries, making it allowing it to go toe to toe with the very best armies that Rome and Greece can offer. That makes this a really attractive choice for that first army there. The idea of holding it back and making it your potentially reserve army, so going up into Britannia, taking that and then just bringing them back and sitting them here. The great thing about having that really high quality general is that you want to get them out and get them campaigning. That's really what makes it pointful for them to be on the field. So I wouldn't recommend it as one to hold back in that respect, unless other factions are being extremely aggressive and you find yourself under an awful lot of pressure and you reckon that you're going to be fighting for survival in your home territories. Maybe in that situation, but it's all about reading what the other players are likely to do, how aggressive are they likely to be, have they got a vendetta against you, that's what they're going to do. In that case, then yeah, maybe that is a good one to hold back there. But given the poor quality of the lowland units, you've got to really think about how it is that you're going to bulk that army out. So in particular, being able to take advantage of the strategy whereby perhaps you actually send one of your agents over to here, and if you've got a card which allows you to recruit those agents, just keep in mind that you're able to recruit as far as 4 regions away. So let's see how far that is over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 4. So you could be recruiting it as far away as these regions over here. So if you set it over here, that would allow you to recruit mercenaries into it, which is a fantastic ability that can come from having the right cards. And then so sitting in there, recruit some mercenaries. Then that means if someone's attacking you, that you're going to do really, really well, manage to push them back, and actually hopefully even actually start extending your frontiers, so that not only are you putting up a formidable defense, but you're actually able to push out into some of these other areas, take back some of the other regions, and even head into the home regions, particularly in the mid to late game. That's where that could be advantageous. But certainly don't look at getting into really, really large scale battles without bulking out with some of the mercenaries first. So that's been army number 1. Next time, of course, what we're going to do is we'll look at army number 2. We'll just work our way through the Barbarian armies. Thanks for watching. If this has been useful, then please give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you get to have these sent straight to your newsfeed as soon as they come out. And finally, if this is valuable, so valuable that you think that your friends could take advantage of this, then please go ahead and share this video with them. However, if it's something you want to keep to yourself so that you can wow them with just how amazingly informed you are about this game, then go ahead and keep it to yourself. I'm going to say bye for now, and are you bored through? We're bored through, and here at Bored Through, we're all about the gameplay.